Shivani, working as Senior Product Specialist here. And today we also have with us Mayank. He's one of the co-founders. So, yeah. So during this webinar, we'll be talking about navigating Google's changing algorithms, lot more about the product, SEO practices, and we'll be covering a lot of questions you people have around anything you can ask us. And so we have a Q&A section here. Feel free to keep asking your questions under the Q&A section, and we'll be there, happy to answer you there.
Perfect. Thank you, Shivani, and welcome everyone. I see like a lot of people dialing in from different parts of the world. Once again, like thanks a lot for taking out time. Super excited for this. And like Shivani said, would love to keep this interactive. Ideas to decode, what's happening in the search, and would love to, learn from you guys as well while we share our point of view. And of course, like talk about different, methods that you can employ, like how ScaleNut can fit into scheme of things, and especially like how you can leverage AI as you are sort of like trying to scale SEO, right? I'm assuming like everybody like does SEO here, right? And in case you have any like point of views, like I said, would love to learn from you, right? Great. So what you can do is like we'll get started. I put together like few slides that I'll run through, and then we can have a quick look at the product as well, so that we can just apply both the things, the theory and the application together. I'll get started. I'll share my screen. Great. So 2024 is going to be like super exciting. 2023 was a foundation year after ChatGPT coming in. Like all of us know, Google decided to launch, Bard, and following Bard was HGE, and they have been slowly rolling out HGE in different parts of the world. Still in beta, still a lot of experiments, but early results are interesting. And there is like a lot of apprehension as well around what will happen to traffic. How do we prepare for the new era of search? It's very important to understand, try with different types of queries, the kind of results HGE is throwing in, to really understand, okay, how it will impact different domains, right? So I'll probably skip this. So what is SGE? So SGE is the search experience with generative AI. So Google has been experimenting with a lot of things over the last decade or so. First, they obviously, like, these search algorithms have been evolving. They also launched BERT a few years back to improve search results. Featured snippets came in. They were more like zero-click searches, very strong brand visibility positions. Idea is to improve search experience so that number of searches go up. That's what SGE does. It basically helps users understand, or get the answers easier compared to like traditional classic search. Second, it uses existing web content to give you the results. So obviously there is a AI application, but it also gives you the sources. It also gives you the carousels, right? And it organizes the search results in a new way, right? For different results, for different search queries, you will see results organized in a different way. Ideas again to help users get the answers quickly, so that they don't have to spend like a lot of time try to satisfy their sort of search intent. So that's pretty much it, right? And nothing to be really scared of. How does it look? Very simple. So for example, if you search for something like Black Friday 2023 software deals, this is what you will get, right? So you will get the top deals. This is the Gen AI answer, right? You will get the top deals, and you will see these arrows, like download arrows. So if you click on them, it will expand and it will show you the sources as well. So these are not cooked up answers. So these are the answers that Google is fetching from the trusted and the high authority websites. Along with that, what it is trying to do is it is trying to build carousel. of different websites that it considers to be relevant for that particular search query. So these spots become like really, really important. Following that, the organic search results will come in, right? In certain cases, you will still see featured snippets. For informative queries, featured snippets after generative AI answers might not be very relevant. In certain cases, it would be, but then the organic results come in. Wherever ads come in, obviously ads are given like high importance depending upon the nature of the search query, but the idea is to still drive traffic to the websites, right, who are publishing this content, so publishers, right? So for Google, for search engines, that's of course like extremely important, right? So these cards become important, coming in these downward arrows become important, and of course like classic search results, top positions become important. Another thing that a lot of people have seen, it's not necessarily that these three results are the top three results of classic search. These could be position 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 results as well. What happens is, at least that's a theory, right now, Google is also looking at certain authority, sort of index of websites, and it is giving more importance to, of course, the quality of content and authority of your domain, right? So if these two things are good, you will most probably get these slots. So these slots become important from that perspective. So this is how it will look. Obviously, slight difference for different types of queries. Now, given this, right, are we scared that our traffic will drop? Well, in certain cases it might, but it looks like for majority of the cases it should not be a problem. Like I'll give an example, right? Like informative queries, yes, there is a possibility that it will impact the traffic. Think featured snippets, right? People get the answers then and there and they don't go on the website, but it helps in building the brand, right? For example, if you're ranking in a featured snippet, it builds authority and your brand gets built. But if you look at other types of search queries, like local search, restaurants near me, it's the layout that's getting changed. Site links, let's say, for example, you're searching for scale nut, right? No generative AI experience there. Shopping and reviews, again, you will see list of products that you see today. Again, certain changes in the layout, certain changes in the algorithm where Google might be trying to incorporate trends and user behavior. But as far as traffic is concerned, not much impact, not that we see. Product details, store listings, news and top stories. Again, these are factual content, so Google doesn't want to really play around with factual data like news or top stories. Your money or your life queries, right? These are very critical queries related to health, finance, things like those. Again, Google is not trying to mess up with these because, again, AI can hallucinate even as for Google, so there's minimal impact. Sensitive queries, of course, there is minimal impact. Now, the larger point is, it's a new way of search and nothing to be really scared of. Yes, the nature of search queries will evolve over a period of time. They will become more long tail in nature. So your content, if it covers different angles for a specific search intent, a content piece should be able to answer and should be able to rank, right? So that's what will happen. Other than that, not much impact is what we anticipate, except for informative search queries, of course, right? Now, for money keywords, etc., it should not drive, it should not be that big of an issue. Now, what will happen is the parameters to sort of be in those, top cards or be there will slightly evolve, right? Because your content, yes, should be applicable for a certain keywords, but should also cover different angles that generative AI might think are relevant, right, for that specific search query. So what we need to do is like very simple, do three things, right? So one, quality of content, nothing changes. There is a lot of information on the web that one has to do this, that, all of those things for SGE, but in reality, what needs to be done is like quality of content has to be like extremely good, right? Cover all the angles, make it super comprehensive, use semantic key terms, try to understand or try to look at what people are asking on, people also ask questions, Quora, Reddit, just to understand, okay, these are the things people are trying to get answers for, so that your content piece is more comprehensive and covers different angles, right, for a particular topic. So that's most important. Second, quality of domain. So that gets built over a period of time. Focus on your interlinks and focus on backlinks. I think these two things over a period of time, they help build that kind of quality of the domain. Again, it's a slow process, but this is something which will play a major role as well. Third, and most importantly, one will have to start creating content scale. Now, the reason being, thanks to Gen AI, creating content is relatively easier. Quality content still takes effort, but it has become much easier and the cost has come down significantly. So everybody's creating a lot of content. You also need to create a lot of content so that you are competing against the competitors well, and you are covering the niche in depth, right? So that's very important. Also, if there is a drop in CTR, right, like so that traffic goes down, but if the quantity of content is higher, you will be able to counter the drop with the increase in traffic, because of those increased number of pieces. So these are core things that one needs to focus on as they sort of prepare next year, and obviously look at how things are getting rolled out, right? So but largely nothing to be worried about. Do the basics right, but yes, these three things, keep that in mind, right? Now, while we do this, what has changed? If nothing is changing, why do we really need to care, right? What has happened is AI has come into play. Now, when AI comes into play, a lot of things can be automated. A lot of things where you require manual efforts, all of that can be automated, right? SEO has a workflow. You start with content planning, like keyword planning, followed by topic research, going deeper into building outline of your content piece, creating the draft, which is correct, factually correct, it's good quality, optimizing for the search guidelines, the new search guidelines, as well as they keep getting rolled out, right? So these are the things that one has to do before the article goes live, right? Before any SEO content goes live. Can we use AI to sort of accelerate? Yes. And I'm sure a lot of folks here would have used different tools or AI in different legs of the content journey, right? So, but how effectively you can do it, step number one, of course, is strategy, right? Okay, so when I say strategy, what I mean to say is, for example, you are in a particular business. Let's say you are in a travel business and you are making travel accessories and you want to rank for those. Now, writing one piece on travel accessory will not probably make the cut. What you probably need to do is build clusters for that particular niche and start creating content for all those clusters. Google will get a signal that this website is a high authority website for travel accessories. And that signal becomes important for you to come on those top 3 cards or in general in the classic search. Now, what that means is you build topical authority, right? What topical authority is, basically you start with a seed keyword, let's say travel accessory. AI can help you fetch real time the related keywords from SERP, right, that you should sort of cover to build authority for travel accessories, right? And eventually, AI can cluster them meaningfully so that you are not creating content for similar set of keywords, right? So you don't want to create content for keywords that have similar search intent, but doing it manually becomes extremely difficult when you have, let's say, 1,000 keywords, right, for travel accessories. It becomes how will you sort of cluster? So AI can do that, right? Identifying these 1,000 keywords also can be done by AI, right? And again, these are not secondary keywords that you will generally get. These are the keywords that one has to sort of look at SERP, look at the related results, look at what competition is doing, what are the top ranking results are, fetch the keywords, so on and so forth, and get that list, cluster them, and then you start creating content. AI can be used, and different tools are trying to do it. Like, for example, we at ScaleNut, what we do, we create these clusters for you at scale for any specific keyword, let's say keto diet. Now, what it would do is it will create all the clusters for you for this specific keyword, and you start then creating content for each of these clusters. What it also does is it will tell you if you have already created content for certain clusters or keywords, so you of course emit those, right? So you basically like omit those, right? Also, you can plug in certain competitors of yours to identify, okay, these are the clusters that they are ranking but you are not ranking, or these are the clusters none of you are ranking, and hence those could be like good gold mines. Third, these are the clusters that you have already covered, so of course you don't have to do. So all of that can be done literally using AI in a click, right? I'll probably like show you in a bit like what I mean by that, but that's how the clustering is done. Actually, let me just quickly show it to you as well. Okay, so I went to our keyword planner, and what I did, I took a primary keyword as SEO tools. This is the report I created like a while back. All you need to do is like you can just enter SEO tools here. You can select the geography for which you are trying to rank for, enter your domain. You can enter your competitors, one or more. You can enter up to like 3 competitors here, and hit plan. Now, what we will do is we'll understand this keyword, get all the related keywords, cluster them, and also identify where you are ranking or SEMrush is ranking, right? So let me just open this and show it to you quickly. So for SEO tools, if I have to rank, I have to literally build content for a lot of these clusters. So there are like these 63 clusters from 167 high impact keywords. So keywords are obviously much more than 167. There are over 2000 keywords, but we identify the high impact keywords and cluster them. So these are the keyword clusters that you see here, right? So SEO tools for digital marketing, for agencies, SEO optimization tools, SEO research tools. So I have to create content for all of these to give signal to Google that I have high authority in SEO tools. Now, I want to look at the keyword clusters that are sort of untapped, right? So these are the untapped ones where nobody's ranking, right? Okay, so we are talking about SEMrush, so of course they've written on a lot of pieces. So this is the only cluster that they have not covered, but there would be a lot of them that we have not done because obviously we are relatively newer compared to SEMrush. So there are like clusters that I want to quickly cover to start building that authority. I can of course sort by keyword difficulty. Let's say I want to look at like lesser keyword difficulty ones, which have decent search volumes, and start sort of creating content there. From here itself, I can start creating content. I can also look at like if there are any unique ones or are there any shared clusters between you and your competitors. So this basically, in a click of a button, I got like all the idea of different clusters where I am, what I need to do to sort of rank for this, right? I'll just take a pause so that there's no information overload. And in the meantime, if there is any question, guys, please let us know. Yeah.
Yes, we have one question from Tim.
Okay.
Which is, what is your view on zero-click searches growing because of SG?
Yes, absolutely. See, what will happen is when featured snippets came in, two things happened. Obviously, the traffic goes down. That's one thing, obviously not a good thing. But the brand gains authority and brands become strong, right? In people's mind, okay, this is the authority website where I'm getting the content. A lot of times people actually click and look at the detailed article. Second, and most importantly, what happened, number of searches went up. So whenever search engines do these kind of interventions like featured snippets or SGE, what will happen is more and more searches will happen on the web because they are able to find answers quickly. These increases of search queries, they basically offset the decrease in the traffic that you get. At the same time, you're also getting that brand visibility. Imagine coming on those top 3 cards, right? It establishes authority in people's mind, in searchers' mind, that okay, this is a high authority website. So that's what happened when featured snippets came in. That's what will happen when SG gets fully rolled out. So that's how we look at things. Yeah. Any other questions, Shivani? Otherwise, I'll sort of like probably move forward.
We have another question. Is there any promising AI tools regarding backlink building to increase DA? If not,
Unfortunately, no. Sorry, please.
yeah, please continue.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, no. Even we have been thinking of building, tools for backlinks, but um, there are tools that exist for as marketplaces, right? But process is pretty much manual, where you have to identify the niches for or the relevant websites for your keywords, reach out to them, pay them money. It's a long, expensive process for sure. No shortcut there right now. No AI tools that do a good job there right now.
All right. So we can move forward.
Yeah. Okay. So this was step number one, right? So we have identified the clusters. Great. Now we want to rank for this specific, niche, which is, let's say, SEO tools or keto diet or travel accessories. We have got like tons of clusters by AI, and probably save like tons of hours in the entire planning process. Now, once that has happened, what's the next step? How do we make our content comprehensive? One way is, of course, like we can go to ChatGPT and ask, create a blog, let's say 1,000 words blog for, let's say, keto diet. It will definitely give you a piece of content. Will it be comprehensive? Definitely no. Will it be factual correct? Probably no. Will it cover your semantic key terms? No. Right? Will it cover all angles like listing from Quora, Reddit? People also ask, etc. No. Now, these things are extremely important, because if you have to sort of rank, you're not going to rank easily now, because on one particular keyword, probably millions of people are creating content. So your content has to stand out. How do you do that? The research has to be rock solid. Can you do that manually? Yes, but it takes hours, right? Earlier, for our team, it used to take hours. Now it's literally like seconds or few minutes, right? That they have to spend in doing the research and creating content. How can you use sort of AI, right? You automate it. You understand the user intent, what search engines want. You can automate the semantic key terms, the NLP, basically NLP entities, and there is an entire workflow that you can build. Or there are tools that, of course, like do it, like ScaleNut, and there are like a couple of others who are good at this as well. Now, coming to like things like NLP entity, which becomes like extremely important, especially after BERT came in, and now, of course, like after SGE is coming in, it's very important to incorporate these kind of keywords, these semantic keywords in your content. Like, for example, green tea benefits. Okay, if you look at the NLP key terms here, like free radicals, amino acid, lower risk, so on and so forth, you look at their importance and the frequency. Now, these keywords you will not generally get from any keyword research tool. These are not your secondary keywords, right? These keywords have to be incorporated in your content to give that signal to Google, because that's what it is looking for. Google is not reading the entire content. It is looking for those specific keywords, right? And the way you can do this is by, of course, like using tools like ScaleNut. And once this research is done, you move into article writing flow, right? Now, that article writing flow, like I said, there could be like one-step process, which is like, hey, give me the entire blog for keto diet. Yes, you can get it. Or you can guide AI tools like ScaleNut at every step. So, for example, while I'll show one to you, but we have created a specific workflow of 5 steps where you have to just review, right? And if you have to change, you can change at different steps. You can give AI some context. You can change the title. AI will create the automated outline based on real-time factual information. So that outline can be modified by you. Then the talking points for each of those H2s and H3s, and eventually you get the first draft that again you can optimize, based on your own inputs. Once this is done, most important part comes in, which is optimizing for search. Search, of course, or Google, of course, has like hundreds and hundreds of guideline in different parameters, but that entire thing can be automated. We have tried to sort of like largely automate a lot of those. Once you create content within ScaleNut or outside ScaleNut, you can optimize it, and it will identify issues across key terms, meta tags, URL, featured snippet, H1 heading, so on and so forth, right? Because what happens is, if any of these things are missing in today's competitive world, it becomes very like sort of like dicey for you to rank, right? That's one thing that you can do with AI, where it will evaluate the content. Second thing that AI can do for you is actually fixing those issues. One by one, you can like look at, okay, I want to fix all my key terms, fix it. And AI will like start fixing, tuck, 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 tuck. And you are like, okay, within like probably like 5 to 10 minutes, you have a good solid piece that's ready to be published. Of course, you can spend some more time, add more primary data. You might have first party data that you might want to add. Feel free to do that. But this becomes important, right? So these are the things that you need to sort of like take care as you prepare, for new search. While AI has while AI has sort of like helped us create content scale, but SGE has made it mandatory to create quality content at scale, right? So unless you do these things, creating content scale using AI and creating high quality content scale, the SGE will probably like kill some of the websites, right? So these two things are extremely important. Okay, so once you do these, of course, like I said, you start scaling content with AI. We had a client, who drove like almost like 200,000 traffic with ScaleNuts AI within like I think 60 days, and so thankfully after ChatGPT, there are no fears of like whether Google will punish AI content. All of those, absolutely not. Till the time quality is good, everything is sorted there, right? So these are the things. I'll take a pause here and probably like look at the product as well. But in the meantime, Shivani, any quick questions? We'll be happy to take them.
Yeah, we have one question from Brad. Is the goal of the product to eventually have the fix it option for all the sections?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And also, I would like to highlight one thing. Google is releasing their core updates faster than ever, right? And what we are committed to is like updating our content optimizer quickly enough to incorporate all those guidelines so that you are best prepared for SGE, right? Because these guidelines are changing and somebody needs to sort of like help you automate that. So that's the goal of content optimizer. And of course, Fixit's goal is to fix those gaps.
Awesome. Next question is, do you think that the optimum content length for SEO will change with SG?
It might. Good question, because what might happen is, like I was talking about, covering different angles, because nature of search queries will evolve. People will start asking, like long tail search queries. And of course, you will not write different articles. One article will have to have like different angles covered, right? And in that case, yes, the length of the articles might evolve. And that's where, content optimization comes into play, where, let's say, for example, ScaleNuts Content Optimizer will evaluate real time what's the ideal length of the content should be, looking at what Google is prioritizing or ranking, and give you those numbers. Okay, now you have to create content of, let's say, 2,000 words, or 3,000 words, or 1,000 words, depending upon how search results are.
Great. So we have another question. What I can do if Google punished my website for AI content and unranked my pages?
Okay, so Google really doesn't care about AI content at all, right? They don't. If your content is, obviously, if there is plagiarism or if the content is not high quality, these recent Google updates will sort of kill the websites for sure. Like our own content is mostly AI. This specific client, 100% AI, like absolutely no editing, but the content quality is good, right? Their keyword search was good. Their domain authority is also good, right? So they were able to drive that kind of a traffic. So Google doesn't really care. Absolutely not. And let me see if I can sort of pull up guidelines, AI content. Let me see if I can pull out something for you here. Okay, so rewarding high quality content, however it is produced, right? So they don't care. Earlier, their guidelines was human created content. Now it is not. They don't care. However it is produced, it doesn't matter till it is high quality content that demonstrates quality of what we call as eat. That's important, nothing else. So that debate has been long put to rest.
All right, let's move forward.
Okay, perfect. Cool, great. Okay. I'm not sure like how many of you are well versed with the scalar product. However, I'll not bore you with like a lot of details today, right? But at a very high level, scalar does following things. It helps you plan content, like we saw. It helps you build keyword clusters, like we built one for SEO tools. So if you are planning, you are at that stage of planning, keyword planner will come in, right? So we launched like a couple of updates today where you can add competitors, their websites, and look at the gaps, keyword gaps between you and your competitors, right? So like I was saying, so we looked at sort of missing keywords or untapped ones or shared or unique. So these insights become important as you are whenever you are in the planning stage, right? So you can quickly create keyword clusters now for your niches. Second, once you have identified those, you can start creating content at scale. So for example, article writer, let me try to create one article quickly. So travel accessories we were talking about. Let's say I build products for that and I want to rank for travel accessories. I can add secondary keywords as well. But for now, I'll probably just move forward. What we do is we, of course, like look at the top results. It could be top 10, 20, 30, depending upon your settings. We also look at what people are asking on social channels. And I was mentioning it becomes extremely important in our effort to make content comprehensive, right? Now it takes like couple of sort of like few seconds for for us to sort of fetch all the information, like frequently asked questions and extracting semantic key terms, NLP entities, and so on and so forth, right? So this is done. I can give some context to AI, the kind of content. So I'm trying to create a listicle here, listicle on the best travel accessories. And I can also guide AI with the tone of voice that I want, right? I can customize, I can add more tones. I can AI can identify my tone from my website as well, or I can manually add certain tones, right? Like, so for example, I just want a professional tone for now. I'll go ahead and go to the title stage where AI will suggest certain titles like here, and it will also give you the sort of like titles of the top ranking articles here, right? So I'm happy with top 10 travel accessories for your next adventure. I'll move forward. Now here, we will look at the web real time. So these are the articles that are ranking today, what Google is prioritizing today. Based on those and based on the NLP entities, we try to create an outline for you that covers all these things, and the probability of creating highly optimized article is very, very high, right? So this step becomes very important. Here we use like some of the best models of AI that are available to create this, because this is the heart of the content, right? It takes like few seconds for outline to come, better than like few hours that one would otherwise have to spend, like if they were to do it manually. So I'll just wait. Okay, so I've got the outline. If you look at the left, AI has given me the outline that looks good. Like it is defining travel accessories. It is telling me what are the different things like travel gear, clothing essentials, how to pick necessities and things like those. So it is telling me all those things, and essentials, how to make the journey easier for long flights, for short trips, and so on and so forth. Once I do that, I can also look at the questions here. So these are the outlines of the top ranking articles. I can look at my competitors as well. And if I want to change my outline on the left, I can look at the right one and eventually change my as well. I also look at the questions here that people are asking on Google, or the questions that people are covering, my competitors are covering here. the questions that people are asking on Reddit or Quora, I can look at all those. And for example, I like this, right? What are the essential items when traveling abroad? All I do is I click here, it gets added as a question here, right? So let's say these questions, I like this question. I also like the question. Now, this is a good question. What items do people most often forget? All these questions have got added here on the left hand side. Now AI will create writing points for each of these again for you to review. You don't have to again do much. If you want to spend time, some of our users, they spend time here, some of the users move forward. Choice is yours. Our recommendation is do spend like a couple of minutes, skim through the writing points. If you don't like anything, change, delete, add your own data. You can look at more suggestions from AI for writing points, AI suggestion, any factual information that might be available for specific H2s or H3s. So we look at like sources and give you the sources as well here. And once this is done, AI will create the first draft for you. What we try to do is we try to bring it as close as possible to the high SEO score, right? And now high SEO score, of course, depends on like the competition, etc. But this is an article that I've got, which is roughly around like 4,000 words. It depends on the outline that I had created. And I can do like a lot of changes here. So for example, different types of travel accessories. I want to change it to bullet points. I can go here. I can just change it to bullet points. I click here and it will create bullet points for me. I can also look at, so these are the bullet points that it has created. So now this has changed. I can also ask AI to fetch real-time information from Google, saying that, okay, give me statistics about this, that, all of that. So I can give specific commands using Cruise AI that, let's say, fetch cost of ABC, right? Like, so it will get you all that information here. Once this is done, you take it to editor for final finishing. You will get all the meta tags here. You see the SEO score is 81. We have tried to cover all key terms, meta tags, featured snippet, is missing. So you can use AI to sort of like fix it. So let's see. Okay, what is this thing? Okay, I'll go ahead and add it. So it has added that. My featured snippet is also good. Some of the things where fixed is not available, that's work in progress. But largely, if you see, the content is good, right? Overall quality. Now, one would like to spend like 10-15 minutes to sort of like edit and polish it before and add certain images before going ahead and publishing it. So that's what the article writer does. What you can also do is, like, let's say you already have an article on travel accessory, but it's not ranking. You want to optimize it. What you can do is you can go to Content Optimizer. You can put in the URL, whatever existing URL you have. The keyword would be travel accessory, the geography, and you will hit optimize. And what it would do is it will fetch content from that URL. It will create a report. Let's say this is an existing report that I have for janitorial services. It has a SEO score of 62 for a published article that exists. Now, there are certain issues with key terms, meta tags, etc. One would use Fixit to start fixing them. Let's say, for example, I want to fix certain issues. And our AI will sort of understand the content and add relevant key terms contextually at the right places. For example, let's say I'll go ahead, accept. I can also look at like certain options that it might be showing. So let's say I accept this, right? So I'll go back. So my SEO score has jumped from, let's 62 to 77 because key terms are like the most important. I'll add some more to make it like even better. Okay, so I'll just add, so I'll dismiss this, I'll add this, I'll dismiss this, I'll add this. Again, just random right now. And the score is 81. So key terms are all good. Similarly, I'll fix my meta tags, etc. Right? So this is how you can sort of use Optimizer to optimize your existing content. And I can't emphasize enough on regular refresh of your existing pieces. They are like pretty much like the gold mine, right? Don't miss that part in the pursuit of creating like more and more content. I'll take a pause here before showing you the final thing in case any questions are there, Shivani.
Then questions.
Perfect. Now, once you have done all of these, final step, how your content is doing, how do you measure, how do you rank? So let me show you, like, I have another sort of account where we launched one of like most frequently requested feature of adding multi-domains to our traffic analyzer. So traffic analyzer, what it does is it basically analyzes your domain. It will understand the entire inventory that you have, how it is doing. It will identify the traffic impression, any keywords or pages that you're losing, so that you can sort of focus on those, or new keywords or pages that are ranking. You can also look at, like, any new pages that have come about, position distribution, CTR, so on and so forth. And you will get all the data at a page level as well for your specific domain. So that's like traffic analyzer. We also recently launched a new feature which is called cannibalization. What it basically does, it helps you identify the sort of like pages that are competing with each other. You don't want to do it because it gives wrong signals to search engines. So cannibalization will help you sort of identify those opportunities and take corrective action. Okay, you might probably want to remove certain pages, or sort of like change the content where you don't want basically cannibalization to happen, right? So that's cannibalization. And you can look at, let's say, for example, I have multiple domains, right? I can connect multiple domains, and you can look at, like, analyze those domains one at a time, and you can manage your domains. You can manage multiple domains. You can give domain access to specific team members. For example, one particular team member manages one domain, and there could be like team members who don't have any access, or team members who have access to all the domains, so on and so forth. You can do it, but that's how you sort of like cover the final step of looking at how your content is doing. So that's the entire SEO workflow, where we leverage AI in different legs to sort of like expedite the process, save hours, improve quality, so on and so forth. I think I'll just take a pause, and probably we can open up for more questions that you guys might have. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, please feel free to ask your questions.
Yeah, I mean, would love to know what your thoughts are on SGE, how you guys are preparing for it, or any new trends that you are sort of anticipating, you're seeing, what kind of sort of changes that you are seeing after recent updates, or any new things that you would want us to build as you go forward. Would love to know, right? Okay, these are the things, guys, like ScaleNet should have. That would save you time, money, resources, anything. Yeah. Okay, I think there is a question by John, which is like, is there a maximum number of new content pages that can be added to site on a daily basis? Okay. Honestly, no. You can sort of add a lot of pages to an existing domain, but do it gradually. Don't start sort of publishing tons of content suddenly and then taper it down or sort of stop, right? Consistency is going to be like extremely important. So for example, currently you're publishing one piece a day and you want to scale that to 100 pieces a day. Like, take it to 5, 10, 15, 20, and then maintain that. Why it is important? Two reasons. One, it should not come out as a spam. That signal should not go. That's one thing. Second, there is a thing called crawl budget that Google allocates to different websites. That crawl budget it basically learns based on depending upon like how much new content you are publishing, or how much refresh you are doing on a daily or a weekly basis. Based on that, it allocates certain crawl budget. So you don't want to sort of confuse Google. You want to gradually increase that. I hope that answers the question. Pleasure. Yeah.
We have another question. What is expected that SG will be fully rolled out on Google?
Okay, so it was expected that SG will be fully rolled out in 2023, but the way it has gone, it seems there are delays. Our anticipation is it should get fully rolled out by second quarter next year. So definitely by mid of next year, you should see it getting fully rolled out. Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. When creating new German content and entering German keywords, sometimes I see English text in the outline and text. Any workflow suggestion? Example, translating using DeepL.
Mm. Okay. See, if you're looking at like sort of ScaleNut here, ScaleNut is not a good fit for non-English languages, right? German, etc. I can't comment for another tools. But yes, if you are using any, translating, solutions like DeepL, definitely it definitely would help. Yes. But ScaleNut is not a good fit for non-English. But we focus on English and we do a good job there. Yeah.
Another question is, how can you improve each of website and how ScaleNut help for that?
Yeah. Okay. See, specifically for EAT, we have built the content optimizer. The entire SEO scoring that you saw and the entire content optimizer module is built for that, right? It basically evaluates content for your NLP key terms, your content depth, also the gaps that you might have for the competitors, which basically gives you an idea of any topics that you should be covering, your featured snippets, or people also ask questions. So these are the things that basically have been built into content optimizer, which is a part of new content workflow, new writing workflow, or if you want to optimize existing content. And that's how ScaleNut comes into play, right? And like I was saying, Google is updating their guidelines, and at the same pace, we are updating our content optimizer as well.
Yeah, we've pretty much covered all of the questions.
Okay, and I think somebody wants to sort of probably do us another example of a cluster. I think that's from Neera. Hi, Neera. Definitely we can do that. Any specific sort of like keyword that you have in mind? We can create cluster for that, or we can just like create any cluster. Now, so let me, Neera, are you around? Yeah, I think Neera is here. Let me just sort of create a content here. Cluster. Yeah. Okay. Let's say, for example, let's look at any niche like sort of morning routine, right? Now, morning routine, I am in a business that basically covers this particular niche. I'll remove my domain because it's not relevant, and I'll remove the competitor as well, but you can definitely add your competitor here. Now select the geography and hit plan. Now, like I was saying, for morning routine, we'll fetch all the related keywords that are there, try to cluster them. If there was a competitor information, you would have identified the gaps as well. So it takes like few seconds because there's a lot of analysis that happens at the back end. Roughly takes like 60 seconds to 90 seconds. In the meantime, while that is getting prepared, happy to take any other questions, Shivani.
Yeah, what's a good strategy if I have to update a page's content-wise? What would you update on X% every X days?
Okay, depends on the content type here. For example, you have a listicle, which is, let's say, best AI tools for, let's say, social content, right? That's a listicle. Given how frequently AI industry is changing, you want to change that listicle like every couple of months or so, because you would have also included certain prices, that information. So that's high frequency update. But industry where, let's say, best places to visit in France, now that is not going to change much. All you probably need to do is like change the title every year and make certain additions in the content or deletions, right? So that you give that signal. So it really depends on the content type that you are sort of creating here. Let's say home remedies for pneumonia, right? Again, not much is going to change, but so hence you don't have to sort of worry about it like changing it every month or every 2 months. But yes, certain frequency you will have to set depending upon that content. Could be 6 months or 1 year as well. Okay, I'll just open this. So for morning routine, it has identified 57 clusters. So originally we had 1,200 keywords that we extracted. From 1,200 keywords, we identified 197 high impact keywords and we clustered them in 57 clusters. And these are the clusters that you see. You see the intent, search volume, keyword difficulty as well. You can sort by, search volume of keyword difficulty. Typically, keyword difficulty could be a good start. In certain places, let's say morning routine, yoga, it has good search volume, not much keyword difficulty, or here the keyword difficulty is low, which is for morning routine. And from here itself, you can sort of like create article, right? And the intent is also commercial. So yeah, definitely you would want to create an article here. I hope, Neera, that basically answers. And how about mental health? Yes, definitely we can create a cluster on mental health as well. So let's say mental health. I'll go ahead and plan. Okay, while this is getting done, let's look at more questions, Shivani.
Yes, we have one question on cannibalization. The pages it lists regarding pages that are cannibalized. What is the recommendation to do with those pages?
Okay, see, there are two things that you can do here. One, there might be cases where there is genuine duplicacy, right? With different titles. So kill one of those. You can redirect and you can kill, right? Second, where the intent originally was different and those articles are genuinely different, but they're getting cannibalized because of certain content. There you just change the content, right? Remove related content that is sort of like cannibalizing the main page, right? So that's what you need to do, either of these two things, depending upon, again, the page. Okay, so let me just open this. Okay, so for mental health, if you see, obviously there is like big space and 109 clusters have been created here. Mental health help, mind mental health, and mental wellness, mental hygiene, so on and so forth. So different clusters that have been created, and you also get like the entire list of keywords. So you can create articles for each keyword as well, but not that we highly recommend. You sort of, create content for specific clusters. Yeah. So for example, so mental health has these related keywords here, and you can sort of, while you create an article, you can sort of like, choose the keywords, related keywords that you want to include or not include here. Okay. Most welcome, Mira.
Yes. Meanwhile, I've also dropped the one-on-one demos links in the chat box. So if you wish to take a product demo, you can book a call there.
Yeah, I think there's still like some questions that are there. Unfortunately, we are short on time and we are already 10 minutes past the scheduled time. What you can do is like we would love to sort of hop onto a one-on-one call as well. I think Shivani has sort of shared the link. Feel free to please book some time. We would love to sort of bounce off ideas and also answer these questions and any other questions that you might have. Feel free to reach out. We are also available on chat pretty much throughout the day. and we are active on our support email as well, and me and Shivani are also available. So for now, I think we will sort of like wrap up. Thank you very much, all of you, for taking out time and being so patient, and also sharing your thoughts and good questions, that we making this session very, very interactive. Perfect. All right. Thanks everyone. Thanks, Shivani.
Yeah, thanks, Mayank, for the session. Goodbye, everyone.